We'll go right to the phone calls. First up is Charles. He's listening in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Hi, Charles.
Hi, Hank. Thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure.
I have two quick questions, and I'm quite sure you can help me with them. I'm reading Revelations, and I'm confused about the mark of the beast, the 666, that John speaks about, and who the woman is in Revelation that sits on these hills. Is it a church, or is it a nation, or is it? If you can go ahead and speak about those two things, clarify them for me.
What's going on very interestingly in the book of Revelation with respect to 660 and 6, it's not just 3 6s, but it's 660 and 6, is a person is being identified by a number. And John, actually, the author of Revelation, is telling his first century audience that with wisdom and insight, they would be able to calculate the number of the beast for its man's number. By the way, one of the reasons that the book of Revelation uses a number to identify the beast is that it says something about the beast that we wouldn't ordinarily know about his nature or about his evil. The same thing, by the way, is true on the other side of the case, which is Jesus is identified as a lamb. In fact, a lamb slain before the foundations of the world. Now, Jesus isn't a lamb. He is Theanthropos, the God-man. But lamb is used to say something about Jesus Christ, not only something, but the epitome of things, and that is, he is the one who atones for the sins of the world. He does what a human being was unable to do as the second Adam. He fulfills the righteousness of God by which we can be reconciled to God for not only time, but also for eternity. So by using that number, John is saying something about the beast. But he's also saying to his first century hearers, you can identify that beast by his number. You can know who he is. And now we know immediately by that he's talking about a first century individual and a first century institution. Why? Because otherwise he would not have tormented his listeners by saying, you can identify someone that's going to arise in the 21st century. Obviously, they couldn't have done that. So he's talking about a first century character, and that character is warring against the Lamb. But it's not only the beast, but the woman who rides the beast who wars against the Lamb. So there's a religious institution, and that is those who have risen up collectively and said, crucify him, his blood be on us and on our children. In other words, we will not accept Messiah in our midst. We want to continue on with temple, priest, and sacrifice. And Jesus had already pronounced Ichabod on the temple because those who wanted the temple didn't recognize that the real temple had come. He was the substance that had fulfilled the shadow of the temple. So now we have a living temple, Jesus Christ, but they wanted to continue on with the tradition. Now, many of the Jews, of course, turned to Jesus Christ, so they no longer were in cahoots riding the beast, but now they were opposing the beast, and they were going to suffer all the indignities that humanity could foist upon humanity, because now they were saying not Caesar is Lord, but Christ is Lord. And John in the book of Revelation is saying, you are going to suffer for a short time, but remember, you have an everlasting vindication. Revelation 21, he points out that there's a new heaven and a new earth that's going to come down, and God himself will live with humanity. He will be our God. We will be his people, and he's going to wipe every tear from our eyes. There'll be a new order of things, no more death, mourning, crying, or pain. So that's what's going on in the book of Revelation. John is telling his hearers in the 7 churches in the province of Asia about a beast and a woman who rides a beast, and they are going to be persecuted, vilified, tormented, but they are to be faithful, and God will give them an eternal vindication.
Okay, thank you so much, Hank. That really makes a lot of sense.
You got it. And I've written about this in a number of different places, including the Complete Bible Answer Book Collector's Edition. A lot of people think that the mark of the beast is some kind of a physical mark in the 21st century, but in reality, the mark of the beast is a parody of the mark of the Lamb. So just as the mark on the foreheads of the 144,000 in Revelation 14 symbolizes identity with the Lamb, so the mark in Revelation 13 symbolizes identity with the beast and vicariously with the woman who rides the beast.
Got it. Thank you so much.
You got it.
God bless you. Thank you.
God bless you, Charles. Appreciate your call.